Hello everyone. Today is a very exciting day because I am going, I didn't even bring them down, hold on. I am going to finally pot up the Anthuriums I got from Kartel Daun. The plan was to put them in a higher humidity situation. I've now learned, and I didn't really, again, I haven't really done research. I haven't watched other creators that have this and the reviews on it yet, but it doesn't keep humidity in. And so there's just like a lot of gaps. So I might be missing something. Maybe I built it wrong. I don't know, but it's been the same inside this greenhouse. Like it's the same in this room. There's no change of conditions in the greenhouse, at least in my experience. So, you know, thankfully they didn't do poorly. I put them all in just 2 deli containers of just plain water. I didn't add anything, just to hydrate the plant. So I think I'm starting to do this now. Every time you get a new plant, you know, assess the roots, but also like if they don't feel the greatest, it isn't necessarily a good idea to repot them into like a medium right away. I like to at least do about 2 days of just having specifically Anthuriums in just water just to hydrate the plant again, and then I either choose to keep it in water depending on what I want to do next, or I repot them. So I think it's been around 2 weeks that these have been in here. It's just been a time thing. Like I think I would have repotted these sooner, but we're gonna do it today. I feel like I rambled again. Let me just shift these to the side. There's other Anthuriums in here that I got previously. I'll deal with those in a different video, maybe a planter video, but this is very exciting. Is there a way this... I don't trust this thing. Okay. Oh, you don't look good. Okay, another reason why I like doing this is because, you know, I always want to watch out for pests. And so by doing this, you kind of contain them. Obviously, the ones that fly, specifically like adult thrips, you can keep them in one place, especially if there's like holes and whatever. But, you know, it did a good job. I did monitor them a little bit, and I didn't see anything. But you never know. So I am gonna buy beneficial bugs in a couple weeks anyways, and I'm just gonna disperse all of it around the room. So low on planters, so I'm gonna use these self-watering planters that I use on that I got from Amazon that I use for my plants living in leca. So there is the net pot, wicks, and then the cash po here. I'm gonna use a bunch of those. I still do have like the pond self-watering pots that I usually use. And so I'm just gonna use a combination of the two because honestly, I didn't want to spend more money. And I just wanted to just pull from what I had. It's gonna be my first time using these with pond. And so it's gonna be interesting. I have been tagged in a lot of pictures or reels where people have used pond with these self-watering planters and they're having success. So I think it's gonna be okay. And so, okay, I'm excited. Oh my God, I need to get my eyes checked. I'm trying to see because the camera's really far. I don't know if it's looking okay. Always worries me when it's so far because sometimes I can't see if the mic thing is picking up. I didn't even tell you what I'm planning to do when it comes to substrate. So I asked y'all on Instagram which substrate I should use. 100% leca, 100% pond, or a 50-50, like half of them in pond, half of them in leca. Sadly, y'all picked pond, and I've had so many issues transferring younger Anthuriums into pond. I haven't had issues if they're already like established or like even medium size into pond. I think they're just super sensitive when they're younger, and the salts really affect how the plant grows, and it's not a good time. I said I was gonna listen to, you know, the poll and the results, so oh, my address is there. So let's use a pond, and then I'm gonna just sprinkle. I'm not gonna measure. I'm just gonna sprinkle some fluval stratum here. I feel like I should be using more like maybe a coarse supersized perlite, or, you know, a lot of people commented saying tree fern. I feel like I don't wanna run away from the idea of young Anthuriums in pond just because I had those bad experiences. And that's why I'm thinking if I introduce fluval stratum, I'm hoping that will help, you know, buffer a little bit. And then on top of that, I do have my mix here, just plain water, and I added great white, whatever it says. So I think they say a teaspoon per 10 gallons. So beneficial fungi, beneficial bacteria, So I'm hoping with these 2 additions, we'll have a better time. I don't really like giving up when it comes to certain things and forming conclusions based on a few situations. So now we're gonna see how they do. Okay, I can already see that there's one that's like not doing well, but I looked, and it's because when I stuffed everything into these deli containers, there's some that are like shorter than others, so the roots weren't even touching. Oh my gosh. Again, for y'all that don't know, this is what it looks like. And ooh, oh my God. Ooh, I'm not gonna lie, everyone. I'm terrified. I'm terrified. Reason being, you know, I haven't bought so many Anthuriums at one time. And although I've gotten rid of a lot of my plants so I can actually focus and pay attention to a lot of them and have a closer relationship with them, I don't know, I'm still nervous. Yeah, and that was another comment I got when I don't even know, I'm just gonna like scoop a little bit and go like that and then mix it. I don't know. Maybe I'm adding too much, but who cares? I know with the Great White, you could also sprinkle it in. I just feel like it's just gonna be easier since it's already dissolved in here. Another funny thing, because I had to take them out of, like I couldn't attach the labels. I basically had to tape, I printed labels for all of them off camera, and I was just kind of, okay, you look okay. I basically taped them to here. They have a number on it, so I just put the label of the name of the plant on top of it, and then I put tape over it because I didn't want to just like miss ID. First thing I'm noticing, there are a lot of, you know, roots that existed already that are dying. And again, with the transfer, that's totally normal. And it's a lot of the ends, and so I'm just kind of like getting rid of, you know, the ones that I can see that are not well. Again, do your assessments when you're feeling the roots, like they should be not like translucent white, but like white. Sometimes green, just because sometimes when they root, their roots are outside of the moss or whatever substrate they were growing it in, and they turn green. And then also make sure whenever you see some aerial roots here, whenever you see those aerial roots, submerge them in the substrate. This is a Bigfoot crossed with Goliath, aka BFG. Has 3 leaves. I'm gonna cut the youngest and then try my best to submerge it in the substrate. And Lucius Pond has slow release fertilizer, and I think the mistake I made those previous times, specifically, I think it was winter time too that I had a lot of these Anthuriums, and when I transferred the young Anthuriums into pod, I was feeding it excessively. Normally, if it's like a medium to like mature size Anthurium, I don't see any side effects usually. But I think because they were babies, it was cold, it wasn't that warm in here. I think the nutrients just kind of sat because the plant wasn't utilizing a lot of it, or even like the water. And I think that affected the pH. There was a bunch of nutrient lockout. The leaves looked really funky. And so, yeah, let's see what happens here. Okay, everyone, here is the first one. Bigfoot crossed with Goliath. Let's move on. I gotta grab my phone. Y'all, I'm going out today. I had to work out. I'm just behind. I still need to shower. I feel disgusting. Oh, thinking about our younger years. There was only you and me. We were young and wild and free. Now nothing can take you away from me. Was there a reason why I cut off the baby leaf? The reason why I did that is I only really do it if I see that it's impeding, you know, submerging those extra aerial roots under the pond or whatever substrate. That is one of the most important things to do with specifically Anthuriums, because listen, you could do everything you want to reduce the shock. Sometimes the plants don't respond well, and you know, it does depend on different factors, like how hardy the plant is, like how good the existing root system still is. And so I always think you should just get those fresh aerial roots rooted as quick as possible, because those roots that grow are acclimated already to that, you know, plant. And I've seen in the past, like the existing root system rots a lot of the time, but if you have that one root that grows, that's already acclimated and is healthy, then it saves the plant. So that's why I do that. Okay, who's next? Ooh, fat root system. I have here, oh gosh. Okay, I wrote G crossed with HURC. So I'm thinking that's Goliath, right? Yeah, feeling the existing roots, again. Oh my god, okay, again, the ends are just a little bit squishy, but again, you just gotta remove those. Not terrible, they feel really good. I don't know if y'all can see anything, but they feel really good. Okay, some pon, a little splash of stratum. Okay, can I like bring something up? Someone in the comments was like, I don't get it. Anthuriums look the same, and it actually got a you know, healthy amount of likes. I don't know, it's weird to me because I'm really open to a lot of things, so like I don't know, maybe I see the details in a lot of plants and other people don't. And obviously people that love Anthuriums definitely see the differences, but you know, it's just the same like with people that don't understand Hoyas, for example. Like that's very common, and I mean, I still don't get it. Like these plants are so different from one another. But yeah, anyhow, I feel like I'm gonna end that here, that topic, because I feel like we're gonna get all fighty in the comments. Please don't. Okay, adding the solution here. How exciting, everyone. So exciting. I've said in the past, I don't normally recommend these planters just because they have a small reservoir, and you'll find when your plants grow, and knowing Anthuriums and knowing how thirsty they are, the reservoir disappears rather quickly. And so I'm just gonna have to keep an eye on it. I already know where I'm gonna keep them. They're gonna be on like next to the Burley Marks flames here, under the shelf under a grow light, probably getting 1,000-foot candles for 14 hours a day using my Sunblaster LED grow lights. And so right by the door, so I'll check up on them. You know when your foot's numb and you don't want the needles, the tinglies, the needles? Okay. Ow! My gosh, what a relief, okay. Oh wait, the needles, I think they're here. Ow! Oh my god, this one. I'm gonna have to go like this. Hold on. There's no room for my foot. Wow. Even though I worked out today, it's kind of a core workout. Oh, now here comes the tinglies. The tinglies are doing their thing. And I'm probably adding too much, but honestly, like, I'm not gonna use stratum like for anything else. Like, this is the only medium I'll use stratum for. Ooh, the water roots, okay. I feel like I wanna show you these water roots here. And this is what I mean. These new roots at the top, those were just aerial roots that grow that much and they were new, and the old roots here. Okay, what even is this? Bigfoot crossed with Fort Sherman. Whoa, really kept that veining, eh? Okay. Oh, there was a new leaf, but it's non-existent at the moment, so we're just gonna keep it like that. Look at this. Look at this beautiful plant. Okay. Yeah, back on the tree fern front. I am so open to it. I really am. It's just I have these 2 bags of pon. Well, this is 1 bag of pon, but I have a 2nd bag of pon. I also have this full bag of stratum. So I just want to use what I had, and I felt like if I bought tree fern, I would have to buy like coarse perlite, maybe some bark. Like I would need to buy more amendments, and like I wasn't like open to that, but I am so open. Like I am gonna probably buy more Anthuriums before the end of this year, and so hopefully in the next month maybe that'll be a thing. See, this is what I'm talking about. Okay. Okay, so Papillilaminum hybrid crossed with Queen Crystal. Look, like 3 sets of new aerial roots that are starting to root. So in this case, I am gonna just get rid of this leaf here. And then I'm just gonna put it in. Another thing that I thought of, I was like, maybe I should just put them all in moss and just keep them at high humidity and just make sure the moss doesn't dry out, because that usually works. And if these fail, I'm definitely gonna switch to that. Okay, some water. Now this one I'm gonna have to really watch, just because the indicator is like half working. I don't know. So then we're gonna move on to these self-watering pots with a wick. Yeah, guys, listen, I already ordered 4 more Anthuriums, and like to be announced the date they're coming, because you know how they only ship like once a month usually. Velvet mask, it seems. There are new roots over there. Very, very, very exciting. And then feeling they are already existing. Oh, yeah, they're fine. A lot of the time, these roots, like, they don't survive. So that's why I really talk about having the top part of the stem submerged. Okay, that's number 5. I don't know if this is the same for like anyone else who's bought these young Anthuriums and have had struggles acclimating them. I find that Anthuriums are so different from like a philodendron monstera or even Hoya when it comes to like potting it up and acclimating it. Like I do think they are more sensitive than like the 3 families or genuses that I just mentioned. Okay, this is a Hoffmannii hybrid crossed with a velvet mask. Can you see the new roots there? Look at those. So those feel great. See, and this is, okay, I need to show y'all, because this is what I was talking about. Assessments. Okay, so plant, feel the petioles, feel the leaves, it feels good. And again, the moment you get a plant in the mail, feel them, because even though you think you know what a hydrated plant feels like, you don't. And so it's just because like there's so many different plants that exist. Different hybrids, different plants have different hardinesses. So just feel the plant. Also look for pests. That was the existing root system. Look at how it's all just squishy. It's just coming off. We're just gonna continue to take it off. And that's what I was talking about. See, that's all that right there. So that's why I stress the importance of submerging the stem, because now we have 3 that probably kept the plant alive, because as I pull more and more, there might be only like 1 root that's healthy. And again, this is inevitable a lot of the time, most of the time. If the plant comes from a different medium, obviously in transit, there is stress. Now we're left with that. Do you see those 3 up there? I don't know, the pinks just make it so cool. So depending on how these do, just because I don't know how they're gonna do in pond, because I'm just, again, so scared that, you know, they're not gonna do well. The situation where don't do well in pond, I'm gonna switch them to leca. You know, with the transitions that I've done with a lot of my Anthuriums, both mature and baby ones, there's a few Anthuriums that I did transfer to leca just to see how they're gonna do, just because they were doing poorly in pond, and they're doing well. And I believe that because leca has bigger air pockets in between, I think that's a big reason why they're doing better. And that's just a theory, but if y'all know Anthurium roots, they're like real big. Ooh, Queen Crystal crossed with HU. What a beauty. Same as the other ones, there's a couple of fresh roots right up there. I'm really hoping it's focusing. You know what? This is the first plant where I can see branching from the existing roots, which is even more like exciting to see. I still want to, you know, grow them really big. I think before I just still had that like dream to have these Anthuriums grow from small specimens to giant ones, and I've had success with that, with not so young plants getting really big. But I think because I was too focused on that, I think I did go overboard with the nutrients. I still give so much nutrients to a lot of my mature Anthuriums just because they're mature. but I think I just got too excited. But again, you live and you learn, and who knows if this strategy is gonna work. We will see. Okay. I love how I showed the Hoffmannii velvet mask, and I didn't even like pot it. I just moved on to the next one. I was like, wait, something's wrong here. I don't know if it's moss or something. What is that? So is it June 3rd today? It's the beginning of June. Wild. Okay. Let me do like a quick just recap of like, you know, how May was. I put out 5 videos. I know I talked about how I wasn't gonna post, you know, that many videos. Where did the plant go? Did I squish it? Where did it go? Oh my God, it's over here. How I was just gonna post whenever I wanted. And like, I'm still doing that. Here's the thing. I wanna buy more plants. And like now, not necessarily, but like the YouTube money has kind of changed into like, let's use this money to buy more plants. And obviously this is where I spent a lot of the money. So that's why I put out 5 videos last month. I'm still probably gonna put out 4 to 8 this coming month. I do plan to have 3 videos out this week. I'm gonna do like a short orchid, like Phalaenopsis update video of the ones living in leca, because I got a comment recently asking to see that. And then for Friday, I want to show you some new leaves because there's some plants that I haven't shown in so long. I know I showed my luxurians briefly, like she was in the background, but man, that is a beautiful plant. Yeah, I do plan because for y'all that live in Ontario, I'm going to the Ontario Plant Show. That is on a Sunday, I think it's June 9th. So a week or 6 days from now. And, you know, I asked permission. I was like, hey, I'm just wondering if I can film. And they said, it's fine, just tag us. I'm like, okay, cool. So I'll be there. I don't know if, oh my God, the vlogging stuff still scares me, makes me nervous. But we'll see. So if you're there, if you're going, like, say hi. I'm going with one of my, Alan. He was there last year with me. And I'm so grateful that I have him in my life and that he's gonna support me and go with me. He had a really good time last year. So last year meaning when we went to the Botanical Expo. So that's gonna be another video. I'm just trying to stay calm and take it easy. Not stress myself too much with working at the hospital. We're just gonna, you know, kind of taking it one day at a time. But yeah, Hoffmannii crossed with Velvet Mask. Here she is. Okay. Let's see. What do I want to do? I'm just like thinking about like new goals when it comes to plants. Again, a big thing was like, and this is like contradicting it because I clearly bought like 15 new plants. But before it was like enjoying the plants that I had. But I still think at that point I had way too many. And so I got rid of like 1/3 to 1/2 of my collection, which is absolutely wild to me. This needs a bigger pot. Do you see this? This is the Velvet Mask Fort Sherman. This is the one that had multiple growth points, but look at the root system. And honestly, most of this is healthy. Oh, and while I say this, I kind of want to like separate it. Oh, this one is like so separated. Okay, I'm gonna remove the young one here. I just broke it off. It was coming from like a small part on the younger part of the stem. Let's do moss right now. Let's not, you know, get too far ahead of ourselves. Let's put this one in moss. I have a little bit more moss. Hopefully it does okay. Okay, let's set this aside. Future Kevin, don't forget about this one because you will. Can I separate this one again? I can, but I don't want to right now. Yeah, so getting rid of half of my collection was great. Moving a lot of my plants to my office was great too. I'm pretty sure, this might be like wrong, but I'm pretty sure the types of Anthuriums have now eclipsed the different types of Hoyas I have, which is wild because like Hoyas like were dominant last year. I still love them, but you know, like it's nice to have a challenge. And like the challenge is with these Anthuriums is, first of all, I'm like kind of still a noob when it comes to Anthuriums and like the different hybrids, and it's wild to me like how many different kinds of hybrids there are. Yeah, it's just, I always like to challenge myself, and this is the challenge. keep them alive. Make sure they're happy. Make sure you're doing the right thing, you know, making sure you're not just listening to people that have grown Anthuriums for years and just taking that advice and just running with it. Like making sure you take into account what your conditions are like, because most people that have Anthuriums, they have them in totally different conditions than I do. And so just knowing and keeping that in the front of my mind that my conditions are not as humid, not as warm, and you know, having two like vents like pummeling air conditioning for 12 hours a day because we keep our air conditioning on at night. Like just remembering that. Because I found with, again, learning curve, Hoyas, Monsteras, Philodendrons, so hardy, even Phalaenopsis, so hardy when it comes to the shift in conditions. Anthuriums, when they're young, you really need to like, they're okay. And I don't know, that's just based on my experience. And so yeah, I just need a challenge. And so Anthuriums it is. And I felt in the past, it was hard to get access to these cool hybrids. Oh my God, the needles. Okay, here she is, Velvet Mask crossed with Fort Sherman. Okay, so that's one deli container done. Okay, let's move this greenhouse back just so I can make enough room. Step over. Ooh, things are sliding. Love takes time to heal when you're hurting so much. Believe that I was so blind. I used to cry myself to sleep at night, but that was all before he came. Wow, my foot was so close to the shears. Maybe I should just get rid of these for now. And that I'm still obsessed with because of the veining. It's that HU red crystal. What? Look at that, what? Okay, so there was a new leaf coming, but it died off just because of the transit. This old leaf is dead too, which is okay. I can only see, okay. Oh, it actually feels good. Okay, see, sometimes the roots trick you because this one feels, well, it looks translucent, but it's not. I mean, I don't know what I'm saying. It's not squishy. Is what I'm trying to say, but it looks translucent. So that's good. There is like an aerial root there, and so I'm just gonna have to submerge it. Someone's texting me, my like thigh is vibrating. Okay, I think we need a bigger planter for this one. What else is coming up? I do wanna do a Anthurium collection video. I feel like right now my Anthuriums are doing good, but I don't think they're doing like as good as they were before, which is fine. That way I can show you, you know, some crispy leaves and talk about them a little bit more and how I troubleshooted. They're doing a lot better than they were in the past few months, so I'm happy about that. I know people keep asking about my dust pans. My dust pan is always in the background with like, I guess it's like a rusty, like orangey looking leaf with like holes. So she does have a new leaf. I'll show it in that video. It is gorgeous. She still has holes because she was unfurling and pushing up against stuff. But she's still so pretty. I'm so happy. My King Anthurium is here still. The leaf is crunched up against the window. Oh my God, I ruined it. Ooh, I'm like, this one is probably like in my top 3, like plants in this like unboxing situation that I'm super excited for. Yay, look here. It's so exciting. So I'm gonna talk about this one. This one is a NOID, I think, yeah. Let me get closer. So this is the NOID, and if y'all remember, it was the one that had kind of like a blue shift and kind of like a sinus that was closing. So this is the one that was like slightly touching the water. The roots, actually, the ones that existed don't feel terrible. They actually feel pretty good. But like, I don't know if y'all can see, it is looking, even the new leaf, you can see the curling over there. And if it was hydrated, it wouldn't be curled that way. And plus you can see The color is changing. Now, I'm a little scared because it looks to me that there might be just one fresh aerial root left. So I think I'm gonna keep this one in water. I'm gonna get rid of this yellow leaf here. So I'm just gonna rip it off. And maybe this one. Again, I really want it to be submerged, so I think I might eliminate this leaf too just by pulling on it. So now we're left with these two leaves, but now I can really push the stem all the way down into the water just so it starts to grow. There is another root right under this node, so we'll see what happens. I'm gonna use the same container though. Maybe I'll just like take these anthuriums out of the water and just put them over here. Just like this. Yeah, gotta fill this to the top. I'll put the one in moss here. This velvet mask crossed with self. This is another one in my top 3. Again, closed sinus. There's a belate, it's very subtle texture to it. And just doing my assessment, it doesn't feel great, but not terrible. Like this new root, unfortunately, is Squishania. At times like these, I like to take a closer look at the existing root system to see if there's any like breakages. They do feel really good. And not only that, the plant feels really good too. So I might eliminate one leaf, as I do. And I think it's ready to go into pond. I'm not sure if it had this new leaf coming. Do you see that at all? But there's a new leaf. I'm not even gonna try to manipulate anything. Let's submerge that. Put extra stratum for good luck. Okay, I'm gonna be really upset if this one doesn't do well. Like really upset. Oh, I think there's only 4. There's 4 left. Wow, okay. I'm gonna start with this big one. Kind of worried. I already can see that the roots don't look that great. And I think I might have to, yeah, okay. Okay, just over here, everyone. Do you see these? These are like totally mush right over here. So, thankfully, the top roots feel okay. What even, oh, this is a Bigfoot crossed with velvet mask. It does have a lot of aerial roots. So, I'm feeling a little spicy, and just looking at my pot situation, I think I might use this actual Lushusa orange, or is this peach or orange? I don't know, planter. Again, velvet mask, and like, I know it just looks like a Forgetii, but it's more than that, everyone. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, guys. After doing a further assessment, I only really feel one good one, like new aerial root. Sometimes they fool you, like you really gotta like feel them a little bit. Okay, I'm just gonna pull. And now I'm thinking, should I leave this one in water too? Just for, it feels good though. I think the plan is to just eliminate the oldest leaves. So that's 1 and 2. Then submerge the rest. Okay. I feel like I can't use that big pot anymore. I think the root system is actually smaller than I thought after removing all the mushy roots here. Oh my gosh. Please, velvet mask, do well. Okay, I'm really gonna cut this down. Yeah, again, I need to stress, you know, we always talk about removing the old roots that are like mushy and like cutting it back to the part where there's the least amount of rot in the cross section of the root, and obviously that's based on like what you feel. But sometimes that root, it might be a goner, and that's just how it is, unfortunately. And so that's why I'm a little worried, because sometimes they don't bounce back. Am I gonna keep this one in water? It feels good though. I think these roots are able to, whatever's left is able to pull up the water. Like, I think these roots are functional. Okay, let's stay on the theme of being spicy and just putting it in this self-watering planter. Yeah, how do we feel? Okay, I'm really hoping. I know she looks rough, Here's the thing, this one was the closest to the grow light because one of the taller ones. And that's why I think it's faded a little bit. That and also like maybe the root system is like actually not that great. And my assessment is like trash. What is that? Spider mite? How do we feel? No, it's not. Wow, three left. Fort Sherman cross with Fort Sherman? Forgetii cross with, I wrote Fort cross with Fort. What was I thinking? I know there's always a fear that the stratum will break down rather quickly and then you'll get a mud in the place of those air pockets. Bigfoot cross with velvet mask. Oh my god, new leaf. I don't know if this was here before. Do you see that? Do you see that? The overlapping freaking lobes here. Do you see that? Okay, root assessment because I haven't felt it yet. Okay, some squish. Some squish. Yeah, some squish. Ooh. Maybe Fort Sherman is the stronger parent. I'm trying to look. I think all the Fort Shermans feel good. Like hybrids. Let's get rid of you. Because you're the oldest. And then you're the second oldest. And then you're the third oldest. Just so I can submerge. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Okay. Okay, fingers crossed, everyone. Oh, this is gonna be so pretty when it's big. Like, it's insane how pretty it is now. Like, what is it gonna look like when it's big? Wow. Oh, can someone clarify something for me? On the Myco or the Great Shark bottle, there's two like measurements when it comes to like application rate. And first is the hydroponic, you know, formulation, which is what I'm using. And then under it says like soil applications and something else. And then at the bottom with an asterisk, it says every 2 to 3 weeks. I had the impression that that was just for the soil applications, but is it for all of it? Because I got a comment saying, why did I say 6 weeks? Is it 2 to 3 weeks? Let me know. For hydroponic applications. Clearly can't read, everyone. Oh my god, the last one, which is a NOID that looks so much like a velvet mask. Isn't that insane? It really looks like a velvet mask, wow. Feeling it, feeling it, feeling it, getting rid of the roots that are squish, squish. Ooh, they feel good though. Okay, cutie. I love this NOID. I love this NOID, wow. Okay guys, I guess that's it. Yeah, I'm gonna keep them under my Sunblaster LED Grow lights like I was saying previously, 14 hours a day, probably getting 1,000-foot candles consistently. You know, I always get comments talking about how that's way too much light. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. I'm so scared about, you know, the health of the roots, and I'd rather, you know, at the expense of having cosmetic like leaf, like bleaching, I'd rather have the initiation of root growth. And I know you could probably get that at medium light, but I just don't want to take any chances. So, and yeah, thank y'all for watching. I'll see you in the next one.